Hello, and welcome back to Blackfeather Guild. Um, Real quick before we jump into all the action, though, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how you can participate as a member of the audience. So there's a number of different ways that you can do so. One of the easiest ways is through the game tweet, which you can find right there in chat, hopefully. Um, Oops, my bot is having issues, so I'll just do it from here. There we go. Um, so for every 10 interactions on that, that's likes, retweets, and comments, we'll give a D4 to the cast and a D4 to the DM. We're playing Monster of the Week tonight, so D4 is actually pretty powerful. It's almost a full extra die on any roll. So they definitely help out quite a bit. Another way that you can interact is through guild coins, which you get just by watching the shows or going on raids with us and that sort of thing. You can find out how many you have, and you earn them just by being on the channel. The little rainbow colored round icon right below your Twitch chat box will give you the full details on all of those, including a detailed description of each item. You can also see a brief summary right here for some of it, which are the plot points. And plot points allow you to actually directly impact the show as it's happening. So anything from an inconsequential plot effect to a major one. Examples being the inconsequential is like renaming a business that the party is going to or something like that, all the way up to a major, which is giving them something that they'll critically need at just the right moment, or maybe taking something away that they might critically need, so they have to figure something else out. The DM has final say on what goes in, but we do try to stick as close as possible to your suggestions. And then finally, you can contribute monetarily, help support the channel through a number of ways. There's coffee.com/Raven, Raven.rocks. You can see both of those right down here in that corner. Also bits and subscriptions, as well as our Patreon, which is in chat now. Our Bard tier patrons and higher get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can redeem at any point. Most of these actions are pretty self-explanatory on the chart, but some of them that might not be. The switch allows you to change the action of somebody else. So let's say we'll use a classic D&D example. You have a bard in your party and they want to seduce the dragon, and you're really tired of the bard seducing everything, and you want them to do something else. If you've got a switch, or if you're the DM and you have a switch, you can say, all right, you have to change the word seduce to something that's not a direct synonym. So the bard still gets to choose what they do, but they have to change it from their original course of action. It's a fun way to nudge the story in different directions. Again, those are usable by the cast or the DM. You can give them to either. Advantage and reroll just means you roll twice and take the better of two results. The only difference is the advantage you have to call before you roll, and the reroll you can use after the fact. Complication is a lot like plot points, but it's a little more powerful than that. You just type in 1 to 3 sentences of anything that you want to see added, changed, about, or removed from the scene, and the DM will work that in. Again, they may edit it a little bit if it's something that doesn't quite work with the story or it's game breaking. Like if they're about to face the big bad and you say the big bad just falls over dead, obviously we're going to probably have to edit that a little bit. But we do try to stick as close as possible to what you suggest. And then finally, swap 2 players for 5 minutes. That just means that they swap roles or characters. So you could have 2 different cast members playing each other's characters for 5 minutes, or you can really throw in a curveball and have the DM play a character for 5 minutes, and that player move into the DM's seat for 5 minutes. And then the 1-up is basically if your character would die or fall unconscious, whatever the system has in place for character death or being incapacitated. Rather than doing that, they'll come back at 1 hit point or whatever the system equivalent is. And I think that's about everything. So we're going to go say hello to the cast, the rest of the cast, I should say, and get everything going. So let me just get us to the Tickfaw Files cast screen. Here we go. And Rowan, take it away.
Hello, yes, I am Rowan, and this is my game. Welcome to another episode of the Tickfaw Files, where we start Chapter 3. I am Rowan North. I'm a freelance educator and art. Wow, I messed that up. I'm a freelance illustrator and art educator. I'd managed to flip-flop that. And you can find my stuff at ronorthillustrations.org, which I will put in the chat. And yeah.
Awesome.
Am I the one who's supposed to introduce people? I can't remember.
Yeah, we changed it up from last season.
I'm still learning.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No worries. Whatever order you'd like, Rowan.
Okay. Let's do Riley, because I'm pretty sure Yasmin's about to pass out from laughter. Riley, feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Riley. You can find me on Twitter and everywhere else at Ariely Knits. I am a knit and crochet designer and blogger. I played Jonas, who he's like words. I'm sorry. I'm like
that's Jonas.
Yes, that's basically Jonas, though. Jonas in a nutshell.
Words and
yes, thank you.
Bedazzler,
thank you,
Bedazzler
Vanessa.
guns.
Soft boy. He is the soft boy. Oh my gosh, Vanessa! Okay.
What have I done now?
This came out way different than I thought it would come out.
You can't take soft boy and make it something weird. Riley, stop.
Challenge accepted.
No, he's the cinnamon roll. Stop. Do I have to introduce him for you?
Jonas is basically a sweetheart. He loves everybody, and he tries to be good to everybody.
That is true.
Even to the point of having Dr. Jenkins draw his blood so that he can bring Mira a nice snack since he can't cook for her.
Just the sweetest.
Anyways. Can I be done?
Yes. All right, Vanessa.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am the resident Canadian of the party. I am primarily a traditional artist. I do watercolor and pencil sketch. And I play Mira, and she is the fairy equivalent of a vampire. She has to consume human blood to stay healthy and alive, which is something that we want her to be, so she has to drink human blood. And up until this point, she has been the grump of the party. She's a little bit hard to get along with. She's not very fond of humans, so we'll see how this season goes. Maybe she'll be a little more fun.
Okay.
All right. Then finally we have Yaz.
I'm no longer dying from laughter.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure. I'm Yasmin, otherwise known as Paper Dahlia or Miss Tart. I am a graphic illustrator and artist. I'll post my website here in the chat. You can also follow me on Twitter at YTatianaArt. I play Savoy and Zahil, who are a changeling. Two different sides of the same coin. One is a form of chaos incarnate, and the other is trying to hold the world together on their shoulders. And mostly it just ends in shenanigans. And that's the character.
And that's our cast.
Well, I do need to introduce Dick.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm learning.
So
I'm learning.
You're totally fine. So yeah, I'm Raven. So if you're here, you probably already know who I am and what I do. But if you don't, I do tabletop stuff. Pretty much the entire spectrum of that industry, I do at least something in. But you can find out all about that at my Twitter, which is right below my face. And this season of Tickfaw Files, instead of playing Tilda, I will be playing Primrose, quote-unquote, Dick Bellaroo. She is a private detective from New Orleans, or Narlands, as she would probably say. And she goes by Dick because it is another word for investigator, but also because it throws people off and she rather enjoys that. Um, People make certain assumptions before they see her when they hear the name, and then she plays on those assumptions. It's a lot of fun. But she's coming in at the request of Savoy to come help the party out with their somewhat supernatural issues, something of which Dick has some experience in. So yeah, that's pretty much Dick, and that's me. And yeah, Rowan, all you for real now.
Are you sure it's my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be an interim episode. We're just entering our third chapter. You guys beat the mimics.
I feel like beat is a strong word.
Beat.
But
I
didn't
mean-
Savoy and Tilda literally beat the mimics?
Yeah, you did.
It didn't work out for us.
Yeah, well. Regardless, she went back, I think. Is that correct that she went back through the rift, if I'm remembering correctly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
After we smoothed everything over.
Yeah.
So yeah. Things are quiet for a little bit. You guys have time to settle down and prepare. You guys have started kind of a semblance of a plan. You have different ideas on what to do. You know a little bit more about your enemy. It's hard to know what he is really. You know that what kind of a bit more about the situation, and there's a couple of options of where you guys are gonna go. But the question is what you guys do in the time in between. You're not exactly positive how long you have until, say, a next creature shows up, or if you even want to wait around to see what shows up. It might be that you guys want to, proceed everything and go see the prince yourself. So, so what do you guys do? Like, do you guys have like a meeting or?
Well, Savoy has kind of under the pretense that everybody needed a break, has kind of left everybody alone for a little bit. But would, after discussing and meeting with Miss Dick Bellaroo, would notify everybody that they have reached out to the contact that I think it was Naomi Pierce gave them, right? Did Naomi get it?
I think it might have been
Tilda.
Tilda, or could have been both.
Let's see. Tilda name dropped Dick to Naomi, actually.
Gotcha. And then
that's how it works.
That's what it was.
Okay. All right. So whatever it was, Savoy went and made the connection and set up a meeting with her for Monday morning after meeting with her for everybody else to get a chance to meet her. Asked if she would do a little bit of digging in the meanwhile to see if she could pull up any information that they may not have come across, not expecting anything. So that's kind of, I guess, what Savoy would have been doing. Does that work?
Yeah, so how long does it take, like, I guess you've been doing research into Dick, you talk to Dick, how long does it take Dick to get into town?
That's a good question, because that could be totally different.
The drive would be, like, if I remember right, 3 or 4 hours at most. Springfield and New Orleans are not that far apart. Mostly just like the weird, like you gotta kind of do
to move
this.
over? Are you finishing a job? Are you?
Nope. She was pretty much looking for something to do. So most of what she needs is in her car, so she probably just like grabbed her laptop and drove maybe like a I was gonna say maybe pack some clothes, but knowing Dick, she's already got like a bug out bag in her car with extra clothes and stuff, so she probably just grabbed her laptop and a couple of bottles of bourbon and drove over. Not while drinking the bourbon, of course, but the bourbon's for later.
I mean, but would she?
No,
It's breaking the
Dick
law.
does not.
Standards.
Dick does not drink and drive.
Important lesson, boys and girls.
No.
All right, excellent. So you were there within a day then. I imagine, Savoy, you give Dick a day to kind of set up. Does Dick stay in the manor? Or at the
That would
That would
motel?
be up to Dick. The offer would be there if she wanted it, but it's her call. Savoy would pay for a hotel for her too.
Okay.
Well, Manor seems a little more convenient than me being out in town, so I'll stay here. Most important question first, is there a liquor store nearby, or do you have plenty of booze here?
The general market has an extensive liquor section, but I do have plenty of booze here.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Which bed should I crash in?
Barney, would you be so kind as to show Miss Bellarue an available room for her?
Of course. Wow, I don't know what that accent was. Of course. I can't fucking. Barney's warming up. He's like, excuse me, I don't know what came over
He's
me.
booting up.
Yes.
404
You know.
Barney voice not found.
404. Of course. No, that's not it either. Give me a moment.
You just bounced from Sean Connery to Tim Ryu. Oh my god. Anyways.
I think that's about right, ma'am. So yeah, no, I imagine most of the rooms are upstairs, right? Like the
Correct.
bedrooms.
I
So
had a layout. Did you want me to send that directly to you?
sure, why the hell not?
Also, I don't think it was ever clarified if Jonas ever took up Savoy's offer that Jonas didn't have to stay at the hotel.
Jonas did because he was running low on motel funds.
Okay.
So between
Like I'm
the end of
fucking
last
broke,
season
bro.
and now, he actually packed up and moved in with Savoy
Okay.
as he
Sounds good.
as he teased Mira.
Okay. I'll send this to you, Rowan, so you have an idea. Or I'll put it back into our group chat on Blackfeather. So everybody has it. I may have detailed it out more since the last time I posted it. Anyways, you have your pick. The master bedroom is Savoy's, y'all.
No, Dick's like, I want that one. That's my room.
I
No,
want
I
that
want that one.
Nah, Dick's fine with whatever. I think a walk-in closet is like better and fancier than most of her accommodations in the recent past.
All the bedrooms have closets.
All
Most
the
of-
bedrooms have beds.
everything is just 100% equipped for people.
Hold on, I'm trying to adjust my chair so I'm not like so far away from the camera and the keyboard and everything. I'm still figuring out my new streaming setup here too. But anyways. All right, so once Dick is in and settled, do you call a meeting? Who all do you invite?
Mira, Jonas, Pierce, In inviting Mira, knowing that Lily would be coming, what else?
Well, if Lily's coming, just having Tilda make her a thing.
Yeah.
That being said, Mira did approach Savoy about moving Lily to the mansion.
That's right. So, in the brief time period, Savoy would have also talked to Barney about childcare, knowing that the little girl is probably self-sufficient enough to just need somebody to keep an eye on her. But of course, I bet you Barney would be like, and tutoring.
Oh, definitely.
Mira also suggested asking Tilda as well to see if there's any way to put like a perimeter on the property so that Lily still has access to like the goblins and stuff like that. That whole thing being a part of the fact that she's kind of been stuck in one small spot for most of the time.
Only eating Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. So she kind of wanted to know if there was a way to kind of expand that while still keeping, well, her words to Savoy were keeping things out that need to be kept out so that Lily is safe on the property.
I mean, if you work with Tilda, I imagine that would be definitely. I mean, this is a stronghold. Just a matter of pushing your wards maybe back.
Yeah, and Mira did say to Savoy, like, if Tilda needed an extra boost of magic, then she'd be willing to lend a hand.
Here, drink my fairy blood.
Tilda would be willing to work with Mira, but I don't think she'd drink blood of any kind.
And
it's just wine.
The fact that you think Mira is willing to bleed for anybody, no, ma'am.
Except for Jonas.
Well, I don't know if I go that far either. Mira firmly believer that blood belongs in her.
Jonas, I'd die for you.
But not that kind of death.
Mira would rip limbs off for Jonas, but I don't know if she would extend that to blood drinking. I don't even know if that's something she would discuss in public, so.
But fairy blood's good for you, human souls.
Mira's a lady.
Damn straight she is.
Damn straight. I'm a fucking lady. All right. So Naomi, Lily, the party. Anyone else? Are you basically leaving out? I know you've kind of invited Faith and Selena in the past for some of these things, or are you just gonna update them later?
That is a good question. Savoy would not see a reason not to invite them also. Especially because they are Fae sympathetic. So,
okay.
Yes, I think they would be invited.
Well, let's be real here. Faith is nothing sympathetic, but
at least he knows.
Hey, just do my best. By my best, I mean fuck you. All right. I'd say at the very least, Selena is there. If Faith has a way out of the meeting, he will.
Well, Savoy's not really gonna pressure Faith into it. Savoy doesn't really give a fuck one way or the other.
Excellent. So, all right. So is this like over lunch?
Yeah, it'd be an early lunch, almost like a brunch, mimosas and eggs Benedict, and food would be served. Because it's Savoy.
So
Has Savoy gotten a better magical pass for Mira yet? Because she's she's waiting on it.
Savoy did talk to Tilda about it. It just depends on I guess, Tilda's availability to work on it. And the DM's discretion.
I imagine Tilda's focusing all of her time on that now that she's not out gallivanting with the rest of us hooligans.
Yeah, Tilda's kind of taken a step back after things went pretty shitty with the mimics. But yeah, the two things I guess that she'd be focusing on is one, making sure those wards are ready for Lily when Lily officially moves in, which is probably going to be after this meeting. And the pass, I imagine, is super easy. Like, just switching those passes, just moving one charm from another. Yeah, piece of cake. So I'd say yes. So yeah, that's all set up. So Naomi is, of course, very punctual. Still feels very awkward being there. She's had to kind of take a like she's been gone for a couple days to work with her superiors because she still has a job to do. It's just complicated now.
Mm-hmm.
So with her reporting out of the side, she is there and she shows up, and just as in general is awkward, and she's like, "Oh, thanks, Barney. Where do I or thank you, Barnabas." It's like, "Oh, Barney is fine. Don't worry about it." It's like, Barney, all right. Barney leads her to the dining room. I believe that's where all this is, right?
Yeah. True.
Is Dick already there at the table?
I would assume so, but I guess I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it takes Dick all of 5 minutes to settle in. Basically, she slings her duffel bag at the foot of the bed, plops her heavy-duty laptop onto the bed as well, probably. Goes to the bathroom to freshen up a little bit, and comes walking down, probably in like a short sleeve button-up shirt this time, because it's warm, and a vest not unlike what I'm wearing. Still with the fedora, probably no sunglasses right now, but they are like hooked to her shirt pocket. And yeah, she'd be at the table, probably eating something.
Okay. Naomi is actually surprised to see you there. No one really told her that, oh yeah, Dick is officially joining the team. It was just a case that Tilda brought up looking into Dick Bellarue, and she kind of started doing that, and she's like, oh, you're that private investigator, aren't you?
It's what they tell me. It's the rumor, anyways.
You either are or aren't?
Oh, you're one of those personalities. Yes, I'm the private investigator.
Wait, what do you mean one of those? Never mind.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's my job to notice these things.
Mm-hmm. Right. And now she's kind of like thinking too much about it. And like,
so, Grab, I'm gonna say Dick's a fan of beignets, so she probably would have asked Barney for like some donuts or pastries or something. She'll offer one to Naomi. Like, just don't worry about it, and offer a pastry.
Thank you. Mara, how behind are you? Because Lily's still living with you at this point, since they had to have time to set up.
She's not too late. She's not right on time or anything like that, but she does show up with Lily. and she's put together like a little bag of stuff that she had at the house for Lily. So it's like, a quarter full of Pop-Tarts. Mira
Juice
probably
boxes.
would have, juice boxes, anything that's like human food that she would have. Obviously, she knows that Savoy has food, but there's no point in leaving it at the house because she's not going to eat it anyway. So like all the juice boxes and Pop-Tarts and all that stuff. I think Mira probably would have gotten Lily finally some proper clothing for her size, instead of just wearing dresses made of Mira's clothes. So she probably has everything like that packed in there, all like the dresses and shirts or pants or whatever Lily wanted to wear. So she's not like super on time, but she eventually gets there, toting the child. I don't know, maybe she's giving her a piggyback or something up to the house, or I don't know. But she does eventually get there.
So she's riding piggyback on Mira. She's like, does this mean you're a horse? Because people ride on horses' backs like a horse.
Do I look like a horse? I picture that Vine where the girl like stomps and the kid's like, "Daddy," and she's like, "Do I look do I look like a horse?" No, Mira's just like, yeah, it's we're just getting from point A to point B, Lily.
Oh, okay. Okay. Point C. What's point C if there's a point A and B?
Mira just laughs at her. She's like, no, sweetheart. Point A is the car. Point B is the house. It's just point A to point B.
What's point C though?
There is no point C.
There always has to be a C.
Okay, where would you like point C to be?
Bed.
All right. So we'll go from point A to point B. We'll get into the house, and then we'll eventually go from B to C, and you can take a nap, okay?
Okay. I'm tired.
All right. We won't be long.
Will there be yummy food again?
Well, I suppose so, considering the fancy chefs and things that Savoy keeps in the house.
Do you even eat food, or is it just the blood stuff?
Just blood.
You can't even enjoy food?
Well, I mean, maybe like some fruits, anything that's not too heavy. So I wouldn't go and eat the same eggs and toast that you have, or Pop-Tarts or anything like that.
Oh, so you can eat fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there a fruit that is like it's a blood orange? Do you like those?
Mira tries to cover a smile, and she flashes her fangs at like turns her head and like flashes her fangs, and she's like, "Oh yes, blood oranges are delicious."
Good. I knew it.
Mm-hmm. But you have to keep it a secret. That one's my little secret, hey?
I've never seen an actual blood orange. It's just on the fruit juice boxes that it's a blood orange. I've only seen oranges.
Well, blood oranges are very cool. Maybe we'll get some as a snack.
I like snacks.
Oh, yes, I know you do.
Like Pop-Tarts.
Mm-hmm. Mira like crouches down so that Lily can slide off her back when they get to the front door.
Whee!
She takes her by the hand and just opens the door and goes in.
Barnabas is there, like, with his hand, like, almost to the knob, and is just like, "Oh, well, help yourself."
Mira Mira flashes Barney a smile, but it's distinctly different from the one that she gave Lily. But she just walks on past. Yeah, she just walks on past straight towards the dining room.
Is Mira glamored?
Yes.
Okay.
Always.
So go on.
So if Dick's still sitting at the table, which I can't imagine her not being, as soon as Mira walks in, Savoy gave Dick a description of, like a basic description of the group, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she'll just raise a flask that she's pulled from somewhere. Be like, "Howdy, Red."
Mira comes
looking at
in. Mira comes in and guides Lily to a chair and puts the bag on the ground, and she just like sniffs in Dick's direction. She doesn't say anything.
I showered.
So Lily's like, "I like your hat. Can I wear it?" Just repeats and stuff like.
Dick's just gonna smirk and take her fedora off and just plop it onto Lily's head. It's probably too big for her head too, so I imagine it kind of immediately comes down over her eyes.
Just like she's just like.
Mira like
Just
tilts
sure,
it back
you
on
can
her
borrow
head
it.
so that she can see.
You can
She's
borrow
like-
it for a little while, sure.
Now, I'm the cool kid.
Mira like rolls her eyes, but she seems amused.
Dick's just gonna look at Mira and go, "Kid's got taste."
Mira just responds by kind of like she would have ruffled Lily's hair if she wasn't wearing a hat, so she just like pats the top of Lily's hat.
Well, Lily does have long hair. I just imagined you taking like her like loose braid or whatever, and just shaking it.
That works.
Ding, 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 ding. Is anybody home?
It's just like Mira has these tiny little like shows of affection for Lily. Like she's clearly warmed up to Lily, and you know that's pretty much a part of her family now. That's part of her crew. Lily is a permanent part of that now. So she's more inclined to do like these little nice little gestures just to kind of show that she's picking and poking and joking around with Lily and stuff like that.
She's Lily looks at you, Mira, and says, "Now I'm the horse because I have a ponytail."
Mira just like closes her eyes and like internally is just like, what the fuck is this kid on?
Dick's just like sitting there, like hiding a smile behind her flask, kind of just snickering.
She's so tired, you guys. So Mira, have you told Lily like her new living arrangements, what the plan is?
I
Like
would
that
say
she's
so,
gonna
yeah.
be staying here? So actually, you would know that one of the reasons why Lily's so tired is that she cried herself to sleep about leaving.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah. So Mira is like extra like jokey with Lily and trying to make her feel better and stuff.
Yes. But that means she's really loopy today because she literally did not get any sleep.
I'm sure that Mira would have tried to cheer her up by letting her know that Jonas is going to be there, so if she needs somebody to play with, he's going to be around.
Speaking of, where is Jonas?
So I think that Jonas and Tilda especially over the past 2 weeks since both of them now live there, would have been giving the kitchen staff a very hard time because they both really like to cook for people.
Yes. Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
Jonas is in the kitchen, and so like at this moment he walks out and he has like 2 plates and like one he like brings over to. Is Savoy in the dining room?
Currently, Savoy has stepped out, but will be returning soon.
Okay, so one he places in Savoy's place, and then the other one he brings around to Dick, and he's like, "Hey, here's your poached egg. I haven't done this in a long time, so hopefully I didn't screw it up too much. But here you go."
Meanwhile, you hear somewhere in the kitchen, Jordy. I think that was his name, right?
Jeff?
Georgie.
You mean Jeff?
Yeah, Joff.
Joffrey.
Joffrey. I was close. Joffrey's like, there's no respect.
Joffrey!
And they think they own the place.
It's
I
fine.
think Jordy's busy fixing the warp oven.
And then like he'll see Mira, and he'll just get this big smile, and he'll bound over to her, give her a quick peck on the cheek, and then turn to Lily and be like, "Hey, you excited to come stay and live here with me?"
And she gets this look. And then her face like scrunches up, and her eyes start getting all red. And then she starts crying.
Mira immediately slides the fedora back down over her eyes.
Yeah.
Like, and off.
Dick looks at Jonas and goes, "Oh, you must be the square. It's good to meet you. Maybe don't make the kid cry, and to my fedora, please."
The square. Naomi looks at Jonas. It's like, it seems more rectangular.
I would think a more
Oh, my.
oblong square. So yeah, probably rectangular.
Oblong square.
Oh, I see. This is gonna take some time for y'all to get used to this. So square means, like a silly person, a sap. Somebody who's not quite all with it.
Yes.
Mira
So-
crouches back down and like peeks under the hat to look at Lily.
She's like, she wipes at her eyes. She's like, I don't wanna.
Lily, would it make you happy to know that the goblins are here? You can play with the
But-
goblins?
But Mira's not gonna be here.
Mira like takes
So-
Lily's face in her hand and like uses her thumbs to dry her tears. And she's like, "Well, that doesn't mean that I can't come visit you. I'm not going to be gone forever."
But I don't get to see you drink blood anymore.
This is going to be a great opportunity for Savoy to walk in.
Yes.
And Savoy's just going to like glide past to go sit down and offers, Mira could always stay here too. We do have enough rooms.
Except you would know that your friend, what's his name? Suddenly I forget the name of my own character. Hold on. What's his face that owns all the other properties?
Kyle.
Oh yeah, Kyle.
Kyle.
Kyle would
Kyle
be
would
really
buy up her
bummed to
house.
lose his only tenant, yeah.
I think Mira could be renting. Yeah.
I don't think we actually ever disclosed that, so it's one or the other.
You know,
It's
I've
either
never been
Kyle's
forced.
going to buy up the property once she leaves, or
I've never been forced to think about how Mira obtains enough money to pay her rent.
From her victims, of course.
Naturally.
yes, she fairy glamours leaves into gold.
There you go.
Kyle is suddenly less well off than he thought he was.
It's been a hard year for every business in when I made this game, I wasn't expecting so many similarities to that and
for it
current
to
events.
be so topical.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so yeah, Lily is just kind of snuffling, and she looks at Mira and's like, you could stay here.
Yeah, you could stay with me. And like Jonas turns to Mira with like the same sad eyes. So now there's two of them looking at Mira with these big puppy dog eyes.
Mira just starts rubbing her temples. She's like, I think this is a discussion for another time. For now, we'll just get Lily settled in and make sure she's doing okay.
Dick's gonna kind of lean up across the table and go, "Hey, kid. Would it make you feel better if you got to keep the hat?"
Well, I can keep it.
Sure, I got plenty of them.
How many?
I haven't really counted, but usually have at least a few spares. I've probably got
Is it
10
like
or so.
a collection?
Something like that.
I used to collect bugs. I'd keep them in a box on the porch, and then my and then the bugs got inside one time, and my mommy was mad.
Now Jonas is going to slowly lower the fedora over Lily's face.
Oh.
Well,
clearly, Lily has the best adoptive parents. It's fine. If you can't see the tears, they don't exist. Sorry, go ahead.
Well,
someday
she was distracted,
you'll make a fine entomologist.
Empanopotamus.
An empanopotamus, exactly.
Empanopotamus.
Nobody tell her that's a hippopotamus empanada.
Empanopotamus.
Sorry, yes.
Naomi's just here like, what is going on?
Oh my god. Sorry.
So Naomi's just here like, what is going on? Selena at this point comes in and she's like, I am sorry I'm late. I was working on a project. See, I've without the shop to run currently, it's been a little, I've been a little stir crazy. Also, I'm sorry. Faith decided that he would rather sleep in till 2 than join you for this meeting. But I'll fill him in if it's anything important. Honestly, are you sure about him working for you?
As far as Faith goes, yes. We'll have a little bit more to discuss in regards to that. But for now, I'd like you to take a seat at the table. And I believe that most of you have unofficially met the detective. This is the
detective.
This is the fine detective or private investigator, Dick Bellarue. Dick has been apprised of a small portion of our situation here and has agreed to help us, having experienced the supernatural in her own way. I can let Dick discuss whatever it is that she wishes to discuss with you in regards to that. And I have apprised her of only Temryu, and that we do have Faye here, myself included. And that is all. So you may introduce yourselves as you see fit.
Thanks,
I'm
boss. Howdy,
Lily.
everybody. I know you are, kid. You good job.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm Dick. I'm a private detective in New Orleans, and very familiar with the, shall we say, supernatural underworld in those parts. So I've not seen it all, but I've seen plenty. So whatever it is that you have to tell me or share, I probably will not be surprised, and most certainly, probably, will not freak out.
I have a
Familiar
prince
with
in
the
my
Fae?
head.
Of course you do, sweetheart. And almost married a Fae, so I'm fairly, pardon the pun, I'm fairly familiar with how it all works. Questions?
Mira just gives Dick like a once over, just like up and down, and then goes back to her business, which is trying to keep Lily from like dissolving.
I have a couple questions.
Shoot square.
All right. So were you born a dick and decided to become a dick, or did you decide to become a dick and then go by dick?
The last one.
Yes.
I am a detective, and that's when I decided to use the name Dick.
Fair enough. Second, can
Naomi,
you at least
Naomi
call me
actually-
SpongeBob SquarePants, or maybe just another name?
That's not square.
Or
Let's see.
I'll do
Any
you one
suggestions?
better. You can keep
Other
calling
than
me Square.
SpongeBob?
I'll call you Squid.
You can call me whatever you want, really. Doesn't mean I'll answer to it, but
Good talk, Squid.
Naomi's like, if I recall, Dick is, refers to detective, because back in 1920s there was Dick Tracy novels, correct?
yeah, I think it was somewhere around that time. Yeah, it's a very old term for a detective.
Yes, I read those when I was younger, so I'm a little familiar.
Okay. Well, if you ever want to compare notes and talk about your detective fantasies, well, I'd be happy to oblige you. And she just sort of crosses her legs in her chair and just smirks at Naomi.
Detective, wait, she kind of gets this look like, hold on, are you coming on to me?
reading that look, Dick just goes, well, you're an FBI agent, I'm sure you'll figure it out. He gives her a little wink and goes back to her food and drink.
Naomi just silently stares into her plate, just like, what the fuck is
Dick
my
is
life coming
pleased
to?
as punch at that reaction. She's such a little shit.
I love
then-
her already.
And then Selena's like, hello, I'm Selena. I'm a witch. I ran a local gift store, Wicca, New Age, but it wasn't seeing much business anyways. And then it was trashed by, well, it wasn't really trashed by the mimics. It was really trashed by the people fighting the mimics. But regardless,
Sure,
I'm
sure.
having to rebuild that from
I
scratch.
have
So
covered whatever your insurance hasn't covered yet.
it still takes
Uh,
time to rebuild this stuff. You
I
know,
understand.
there is a cost of cost, and then there's a cost of time. I am not holding it personally against you. It's just what happened.
You're really a talker, aren't you there, Selena? I have one question for you. When you say a witch, are you a coven witch, a voodoo witch? What sort of witch are you?
New Age.
Fantastic. She pulls out her flask and just goes long draw off that thing.
It's like, oh, but I mean, it's not like that's a bad thing. I do go for the beat of my own drum and all that, but I mean, I do decent work. I mean, you can tell them. You can tell Dick. You're right about how I've been helping you with your problem, right, Savoy?
What about me? Savoy's like got like their mouth full of breakfast.
You know, the potion that I've been doing for you for
Yes. It's been a
So
long...
I'm perfectly legitimate.
I can vouch for Selena's work and Selena's work for myself personally. Take what it is according to you, but Selena's...
Hey, well,
Go on.
whatever you say, boss. I'm not here to judge.
I didn't think you were.
Unless you pay me to judge, then I can't,
that's not part of your payroll.
Then I'm not doing it.
Well, there's only one person that I would say that probably you could judge, and that's my lazy elf son. You'll see him around.
Mira just mumbles under her breath, like, hopefully not.
Like, get out of here, Faye.
So, Dick, were you able to find any further information about the tales that I gave you?
Was Dick able to find out anything about the what did you have her looking for? The Shadow Prince? Is that what?
Yes, the Shadow Prince, Fey Realms. I think I didn't go into great detail about that. However, those, I guess, would be keywords that I left with you.
Okay.
He's not a shadow prince. Shadows, that's silly. He's a prince of heart.
Of heart?
Of heart.
Why do you say that?
But his heart
way?
was broken. His heart was broken. And
Yeah, kid.
so he's not a
I
broken.
hate to see that happen.
He's not working right anymore. So he decided he didn't want to be the Prince of Heart anymore. He decided he'd rather be a prince of tricks and games because people played games with him. I don't know what kind of games. I think like Yahtzee.
Yahtzee?
Question.
I don't know.
Alright.
Can I investigate a mystery to see if Dick found out anything
Yes,
in her
please.
searches?
Ha,
I
guess you
also
forgot
would
to bring up the book again.
No worries.
Every time.
I also would like to use the Naked City. So I have lots of personal contacts wherever I go. Pick 4 candidate types. I picked bartenders, organized criminals, espionage, and national police. It says I can hit them up for info plus 1-to-1 investigate a mystery roll, or small favors, but there may be a small cost involved.
I feel like that's going to get Savoy in trouble in the long run.
Personal contacts can provide more significant help, but the keeper decides their price on a case-by-case basis.
Can you please send me your context specifically because that could do plot stuff.
Like, do you want a list of specific contexts?
Well, no. Like what those 4 are.
Oh, yeah.
And give me a second. I believe your cat just knocked over Nero's food. So I'll be right back.
How? That's actually somewhat impressive, because the food was on top of the fridge.
Cats, though, guys. Cats.
Yes, indeed. Does anybody else have questions for Dick while we're waiting? Because I think Dick's probably just the sort to just observe rather than ask questions unless she really needs to know something.
Hi, I'm Jonas. I made your egg. How is it?
You know, it's not the worst poached egg I've ever had.
Selena's like, you know, have you ever
it's pretty
considered, Jonas, that you are an egg?
Selena, I've been
I would
giving you
die
free
for
labor.
Selena.
I've been giving you free labor for the past 2 weeks. Don't make me regret it.
Mira looks Jonas directly in the eyes, and tries to make her expression like just as forlorn as possible. She's like, "Where's my egg?"
It's raw and still in the chicken coop, Mira.
Oh my gosh. You're right. Why did I think to make you an egg? And he starts to go to the kitchen and he stops and he turns around and just stares at Mira. Nice
She just
play.
winks at him.
That was a good one.
Dick snaps her finger and goes, "Sunny side up. That's your new nickname."
For Jonas or Mira?
Yep. Jonas. I'll just call you Sunnyside for short.
Sunnyside.
Thanks.
That's adorable.
Yeah, in fact, Naomi is kind of laughing a little bit. She's like, "That's accurate." Lily actually tilts her hat up and she's like, "I want an egg.
How would you like your egg?
I want it an egg."
All right. So Jonas is going to
Lily-
disappear in the kitchen for a couple minutes.
Lily's like, "Did I fucking stutter?"
An egg, bitch.
Lily's gonna grow up to be a mob boss.
You'll love to see it. Mira's gonna be so proud.
Maybe, but
Jonas is going to go
it's
gray
more
so
like
fast.
she's just being a kid who has been through some shit, and so she's not fully there.
Rowan said maybe, and my brain just immediately fired off a warning signal like Lily's gonna die.
If you kill Lily, I'm gonna find you and strangle you.
I hate living here.
Why are you guys? I'm not
Because you-
killing anyone.
You kill everyone, or at least have
I've
plans
killed
to. Don't
no
even fuck
one.
around.
I've killed no one in this whole campaign.
No, but say that to Galder, who we managed to somehow fucking save by the
You
seat of our
saved
goddamn
him.
pants.
You saved him, so
We
hey.
saved him without even knowing that he was in danger. It was an accident.
I made it pretty fucking clear in context that he was gonna die.
Alexa.
Anyway,
Alexis.
All I'm saying is
Sorry.
that if Lily dies, I'm gonna walk to your house.
That
I'm a
doesn't sound like a
fucking
threat. It doesn't sound
Well,
like a
it
threat.
will be
I'll
when
just
I
see
get
you.
there.
So in about a year after it happens.
I'll be ready. Anyway,
Wait for me.
Anyways,
I'm sorry that we went off the rails there for a second.
this group go off the rails for what? I don't know
Fuck you.
what you're talking about.
All right. So everyone's breakfast orders are in and everything. You're starting to discuss like this prince. Lily said it was a prince of heart that became a trickster before the cat knocked over the trash can.
I was doing an investigative mystery.
Yes, that's right. So what did you get?
Well, I wanted to find out first if I can use my contacts. I sent you a message in Zoom chat with those categories. And Dick's not digging in too deep.
Like next time, definitely send it via Discord, just FYI. So that way I don't have to pull
just
it
don't
up
have Discord up on this computer.
Okay, makes sense. Let's see. I don't know if any of them would know anything, unfortunately. Maybe no. This is a very recent rift, so you wouldn't know, like,
It's a real shame Dick doesn't get along with werewolves.
She does not at all. She will straight up murder a werewolf.
Yeah, no, no, you wouldn't know anything, especially not in this small town. Not yet. But you can investigate a mystery as normal.
Okay.
Sorry. Those could be useful later, though.
Didn't need it anyways. That's a freaking teen.
Golly. Okay, excellent.
There's my one good roll for the night.
All right, you get to hold 2. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
What's being concealed? Sorry, one more time.
What happened here?
I should really write that out.
What happened here? What sort of creature is it? You guys actually don't know, so that would be good. What can it do? What can hurt it? Also important. Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? I think all of these are pretty good questions.
Yeah, I think actually not what's being concealed, because Dix just doesn't necessarily have specifics that she's looking for. So she'd probably be more interested in what kind of creature is it, and there was one that was what is it planning or what's going to happen, something like that.
What was it going to do?
Yeah, what kind of creature is it and what's it up to, basically, is what she's looking for.
Okay, perfect. So Dick, you nearly married a fairy in the past.
A dryad, yes.
A dryad, yes. So you have had experience with these different realms, these different worlds a little bit. You probably heard from your fiance about it, that there is pocket worlds everywhere from basically the old world, that each one revolves around a god. And that god is kind of the center thing that, these worlds revolve around and the fairies revolve around. They're the ones in charge. They're the ones that keep those kind of rifts, those pocket worlds in place. And that over time they have dissolved, kind of in a promised amount of time that all the gods discussed beforehand. So you know that there is a god at the center of this.
Teachy.
So are you gonna share that information? I can do the second one later.
Does that tell me that Timryu is a god?
You have a strong suspicion.
Okay. So what kind of creature is it? It might be some sort of god. Okay. And then the other question was, what's this? what's this rapscallion up to?
Kind of along that same lines, knowing about these pocket dimensions and that they all are supposed to dissolve and rejoin the normal world. That is, the fairies are going to have their takeover. That is the goal, that the magic will return, the world will be theirs once again.
Okay. Yeah. Dick will share with the class. So, I did a little digging into the shadow prints that you were talking about, and near as I can figure, I talked to a few folks here in Springfield, consulted with a few of my contacts in New Orleans, mostly, well, you don't need to know the details, but they're of that world. They clued me in on a few things. My ex-fiance told me a little bit about stuff that I was able to piece together, too. But it sounds like you're dealing with some sort of god, and what he's up to is basically how to put this. You ever see those sci-fi shows where two planets smash together?
Nope.
I played marbles once.
That's not quite the same thing.
Like, marbles, you smash them and they go out of the circle, and if they go out of the circle, you get the marbles. And all the marbles are
Right.
yours.
Not quite like marbles. Here, hand me that. And she reaches across the table and grabs, like, I don't know. We'll say 2 donuts. She's like, so we got this one here, or 2 muffins. Muffins are even better. This muffin here is our world. This muffin here is the Fey world. And then she just smushes the 2 of them together and makes like this pancake. She's like, this is what they want to do with them.
Should I have shared that information sooner? Like, Jonas looks around to see everybody like accepting this as new news, and he's like, did I not say anything about that?
Savoy just like deadpan pivots to Jonas and is like, no.
So when I visited the future, that's kind of what happened.
I'm sorry, you were in the what now?
Ha! So there is something that can surprise you. I knew it!
Yes, this is my surprised face. What were you talking about? Time travel? That is a new one.
So when I was like around Lily's age, I was kidnapped by fairies to go save the world 100 years from from that time. So,
Of course you were, Sunnyside.
yes. And basically that world was what happened after the smush.
The smush. Is that gonna be the official name of this?
The smush.
Right. Hey, Barney. She holds up her flask, which she's now emptied. Could you be a dear and refill this for me?
Of course. What's your poison?
Bourbon.
Very well. And he
So
takes
at
it
this
and walks
point-
off.
At this point, just as kind of like a little aside, Mira looks over at Savoy until she catches their eyes.
It's just
and
pretty quick.
Yeah, she kind of does this thing where rather than looking at the person on the surface, she kind of looks through kind of that, like she's looking for the magic in them. And all she does is say, well, would you look at that? It's almost like there'll be no kingdom to rule afterwards, hey?
God damn
And then
it,
she goes
I have
back to
roll
what-
cool.
Oh goodness. Oh, that's a good point. Who all has the whole like you can tell there's something fey about people?
I mean, Savoy sort of has it, but it's not always very on point. Mira's the best at it. Also, I rolled a
Okay.
2.
So,
Hello,
oh
Zahil.
goodness.
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted.
Then
As Dick bet Zahil.
did you just say? Okay. One second. I did want to mention this because I forgot to mention it to Vanessa because I forgot Mira can do this. Mira might be able to tell that while Dick is absolutely 100% human, she has a very Fae-like signature about her.
She's fairy kissed.
Kinda, yeah.
Sweet.
Very mooched. Very fucked. Very.
Yes to all of the above.
There you go. All right. She doesn't do anything with that information, but yes, I would say
Okay.
she probably knows.
So,
Okay.
upon Mira saying that, I'm just gonna move my shit out of the way here.
Oh no!
Upon Mira saying that, like, you can see, like, Savoy's brows arch in surprise, but there's nothing that can be done, and suddenly it's an explosion of feathers, and Zahil slams her hands on the table, and Mira's like, this is not how it's supposed to be! And they just scream and, like, turn around and throw their chair across the room.
Mira looks very smug at this point. Like, that is exactly. She knew that if she called to the magic underneath the surface, that Zahil would answer, and that's exactly what she. Now, to be honest with you, she was only looking for the half and half. She wanted Zahil to kind of say hello, so she wasn't expecting the entire transformation. Because she knows that it's perfectly possible for them to talk at the same time, so that's kind of where she was going with that. But this is great, and she looks smug, and like this is exactly what she wanted.
Dick is just like leaning forward in her chair and is like, oh, there's the beastie. Dick got a little tiny bit of a preview of Zahil when Savoy had their first conversation with her.
Savoy just like throws a temper tantrum. That's like the best that I could describe.
Zahil.
Yes.
You're close. Naomi's just like spooked. She's just like, holy. Nothing makes this normal. Nothing makes this normal.
Mira's just standing beside Lily, and she's got her arms crossed across her body, and she's just watching Zahil throw their little temper tantrum, and she just looks fine with it.
Lily's like, it's probably a bad idea for me to pet them right now, huh?
Mira like reaches
recommend
down,
it, kid.
yeah, and pats Lily, and she's like, "No, darling, not right now."
Hey, when you're happy, I can.
And like Zahil just turns towards her, and in the most animalien way that they just bare their teeth and their lips roll across their teeth in a snarl as just like fury rolls off of them.
Mira like clucks her tongue, and she's like, "Now, bird, we do have an understanding, don't you remember?"
Zahil just screams, just like this guttural roar, and then sits down and is like, "Fuck you." Fuck you.
Mira, okay. I don't know. I'm gonna have a little fun with this one. Mira blows a kiss.
Just like, like impending rolling thuds, the growl that sounds out of Zahil's chest. It's just like, I'm gonna get you, but it's not gonna be now, because I made a promise.
Mira enjoys it for a moment, and then she settles down, and she has like that very calm look about her. She's like very back to the Mira that she usually is.
Mirror.
Okay. I'm
Amazing.
gonna try and see if Savoy can come back a little bit. because I donked that up. No, you're stuck with Zahil, guys.
This season is entirely going to be the season of Zahira voice, so just watch out for it.
I love how you guys have just made this a thing.
Everything is a thing,
Jonas,
Rowan.
watch your booty.
Oh my god.
Jonas just wants everyone to be happy. He's going to.
Mira's happy. If that means any consolation, Mira's happy for once.
Jonas is just going to look over at Zahil, just like nothing's changed. Be like, did you want that fried egg or do you want a different type of egg?
The comment catches Zahil off guard, and they're like, "What? An egg? What? Is this a
Do
joke?"
birds even eat eggs?
Yeah, Mira pipes up. I'm just gonna continue to play devil's advocate here. Mira pipes up and she looks at Jonas and she's like, "Is that a form of cannibalism?"
Oh, dang, you're right. Would you like some pork belly?
Fuck.
Zahil just like tilts their head like they have never been served food in their life. What the fuck are you talking about?
Worms?
Mira, like, if Mira had been drinking something, she would have spit take. Like,
Blood everywhere.
This whole time, Dick is now just leaning back and just grinning at Mira, like
Naomi's just
in
like,
respect for the button pushing.
Naomi's just like, I need to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. She walks out.
Zahil looks at her, and as she's leaving, he says, "Don't fall in."
Naomi actually pauses and turns around and is like, is that actually something I have to worry about right now?
Zahil just cackles.
I don't think so.
Jonas-
I think you're fine.
Jonas is going to go in for a fist bump with Zahil.
Zahil will give
my
Jonas
God.
a fist bump. Or maybe, like, when people go like that, like,
Yeah.
he'll just, like, holds his fist and let's go.
Just gingerly touches the fist.
It's a fist shake.
Yeah.
if Mira tries to, like,
No, that's
help.
if you make a milkshake with someone's fist.
Why are you the way you are?
Is Mira able, if she looks through the magic again and tries to, like, make contact with Savoy, is she able to help on a cool roll to try and help guide them back?
Actually, I'd say yeah, you can help out. Roll to help out, which is a cool.
Alright.
Cool.
Did
Now,
you want me to re-roll my cool?
Go
Or
ahead.
Is it just on Mira's?
That's an 8.
Zahil's having way too much fun. I'm sorry.
All right. So we're gonna get this
You racking
meeting
up the experience though.
back on, but we're gonna take a brief break where we'll actually discuss what we're gonna do about this god.
Ooh.
All right, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Feel free to go hydrate, bio, grab snacks, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in roughly 10 minutes. And we're back. We're back. Right as
Hello.
Rowan takes a drink.
Yes. Sorry, just all of a sudden I was hit with the. I just drank chocolate milk. My throat's like all.
Oh no.
I should learn better to not drink milk while I stream, but I just like milk so much. I'm a milk drinker. Anyways.
You freaking milk drinker.
I can't drink milk.
Oh, I am so sad. Anyways. So, you guys continue eating breakfast and discussing. But finally, Naomi comes back from the bathroom once she has gathered herself because y'all are fucking crazy. And she's like, okay, let's get this back on track, shall we? I'm not sure I fully understand the situation either. So, what were you saying about a god and worlds colliding?
I was saying that I, through my various sources and research, found out that, well, here's the... She's just going to hand Naomi the pancake muffin. So the Fae basically want to take our world and their world. Originally, they were two separate muffins, and turn them into this. And this Shadow Prince fella that boss here asked me to look into is apparently some sort of deity, some like a god type creature. That's what I was able to find out.
Yeah, I think Sahil's still out. Right?
Yeah, well, Zahil's still there, so
So you just cut out sound wise.
sorry. Savoy is not available at the moment.
But Sahil knows a thing or two.
Zahil does know a thing or two. Zahil kind of grumbles and growls about it and says, the only thing that I know about this is that my world has a god, and my god is the Morrigan. But the Morrigan is a real entity that is there, actively works in all of this, and she's the greatest god out of all of them. And this imposter and just kind of goes off on Temryu of like thinking he can dupe me, like it's really butthurt about everything. What was the question? Or did I answer it?
I mean, that works. Nami's like, okay.
So he'll
So
just
you're
like
not
rambles off and walks to the other side of the room, shaking their fists.
So this isn't just unique to this area. This is different things. And they're not from around here. Just Zahil.
Zahil growls.
They don't even go here. Okay, so it's not just this Temryu. This is happening everywhere. Am I understanding that correctly? With different gods and things like that. Is that correct?
Zahil adds from the other side of the room, well, it will eventually be correct according to what Jonas has added to us, and that's what's happening here and now. We don't know what other rifts or whatever worlds have opened up yet, but we know that it's inevitable that they will, and you humans will fall to your knees for it. And just like fluffs up and walks to the other side of the room.
So it's just walked from this side of the room all the way over to the other side of the room at this point.
Everything they said, but that last part.
So no kneeling.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that, and I'd rather not go into it.
Okay.
The goal is hugs and friendship and minimum death.
And how do we do that?
Stop being dicks. No offense, Dick.
As long as I don't have to stop, then we're good.
Okay. And what about... Let me get this straight. And what about you, Mira? You're from a different world than they are. Justice is a heel. Or this prince is, correct?
Thankfully, yes.
Thankfully. Okay, so there's many of these. Do we know why it's just in a specific area? Is that just where it exists?
So you can kind of hear Zahil's teeth grinding, and they say to Naomi, "Have you ever looked through a kaleidoscope?"
Um, I mean, I know in theory what a kaleidoscope is, but I have not.
Have you ever looked under a microscope?
Yes, I have.
When you are looking at, I believe Savoy calls it cell tissue, the cell tissue bubbles up and creates, and Savoy uses their claws to create little sections next to each other. If you were to take that and lay it like a map over the world, I believe that is what you would be looking for.
Oh, oh, oh. No, that makes way more sense. Thank you, actually.
So,
That was
Zahil
actually very
growls.
helpful. um, Selena's like, so basically we have to deal with this guy, and it'll be whatever happens, kind of just stuck here, right? So if we stop this cell from opening, then we should be all hunky-dory, return to our normal lives, correct?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Excellent. Great.
This is where we get into a complicated thing. So this mushing kind of has to happen.
Oh, okay.
It's like you don't really want to know what happens in your parents' bedroom, but it has to happen for you to exist.
And Naomi's like, is that really comparable?
Yes, because it's both smushing.
I didn't want to think about your parents smushing, but now I am, and I regret it immensely. I smushed bugs before.
If it helps, I have 2 dads.
Savoy tilts, or not Savoy, Zahil tilts their head and says, 2 male humans can procreate?
Dick takes this one. He goes, so Beastie, it usually involves a third person helping out with some. Good God, that was loud.
Sorry.
With some cells, but essentially yes. Also, I'm just rewinding a second here. You mentioned the Morrigan. We have a Morrigan here too. The place you came from, were there any like dryads there?
Savoy tilts their head and says, I don't believe so. Or, sorry, Zahil, not Savoy.
Yeah. I seem to remember Adina saying something about a Morrigan, but anyways. Doesn't matter.
We can come back to that, but because of what Zahil does and doesn't know.
Sure.
Zahil has taken up pacing from one end of the room to the other is kind of like a nervous tick, and they stop close to Mira and put their hands on the table, and they say, if Tenryu is now, is Tenryu a god, or is Tenryu attempting to become a god?
What did Dick's research show in regards to that question?
Typically, they are already a god.
Okay.
However, I'll give you this one for free. It is possible for gods to fall.
I think Dick will summarize that as they either are a god or were a god at one point. But I believe the becoming a god thing has already happened in the
There
process.
is a glint in Zahil's eyes that is probably more trouble than it is good, but they say nothing more about it.
Naomi's like, okay, so this smushing, God damn it, Jonas, I can't.
Dick's just like every time somebody says smushing.
I can't not see it now, and I hate you for that. It has to happen. There's no way to stop it. If we were to say stop it, what would happen? Just out of curiosity.
Basically, the world ends, right? And he looks to like between Dick and Zahil and Mira.
Zahil just shrugs.
No, don't look at me. I don't do time travel.
Mira kind of taps her nails on the table, and she says, "The way I see it, it's kind of like if you have a dam and you try to put band-aids over the holes, over the leaks that are coming through. I mean, sure, we could potentially close a rift here, but I mean, is it really going to stay closed if it is fated to open? And I mean, that goes for all the other rifts, does it not? We'd have to find all the other rifts and close those as well. I mean, theoretically, it would be just a constant back and forth of trying to keep the holes in the dam covered with band-aids.
I like opening rifts. It's fun. It's like taking the toilet paper in the bathroom, and I like ripping a hole in the middle of it and making it talk.
And Zahil, almost like, so Zahil's on the other side of Mira, and in a blink is like down next to Lily, like nuzzled up next to her face.
Hi!
Like, oh, sweet mortal child.
Mira's immediately on her feet.
Lily's like, do you want pets now?
I will take pets, but I, more importantly, would like to know how you open rifts. And like Zahil has worked her way up under her arm like a dog.
Oh. So Lily's like giving her scritches like around the feathers and everything. Like she did last time that they had lunch together.
And
And Naomi's like, are we sure that that's a good idea?
Mira's real close.
Okay. I'm just asking. Selena's like, I'm quite enjoying this. It's really funny seeing her act like a dog. Normally she's just screaming and throwing things, so.
There's like a hint of a growl. You don't really know where it's coming from, but you're positive that it's Zahil.
No, somebody just farted. It's all good. Sorry.
I'm not even going to answer that.
So Lily's like, well, I use a book. and the book does magic. But I'm only ever able to make the rift is if Temryu does it. I can't do it without Temryu, but I feel it, and it feels like tearing the toilet paper.
And
Mira.
sorry,
go
go
ahead.
on.
No,
No, it's okay.
So cute.
Yeah, so you sure you're not Canadian?
I
Wanna
mean,
know a fun fact?
Canada, California sounds almost the same.
No, I'm quarter Canadian actually.
There you go. Explains it all.
Was raised Canadian.
All I was gonna say is Mira reaches over and takes like a scruff of feathers in her hand, and she like peels Zahil back away from Lily, and she says, "All right, you have your answer. It has nothing to do with her. Back it up."
So first, you see Zahil's eyes kind of slide back towards you as they sort of like sidle up into you instead and lean their head back. And they say, "How do you know that's the last question that I had for our precious child here?" And cackles.
Mira doesn't move away. It's like the situation in the what was it, the diner where she just like sat on their lap. She doesn't move. She's just like face full of feathers. And she drops her glamour just enough to like hiss and show her teeth. And she just says, well, it doesn't matter if that was your last intended question or not. That's it for now. And she like pushes them away.
So Zahil just uses the momentum to kind of twist and leans across Mira's shoulders from behind and is just like, "But think, if the child can do it with a little bit of help, what is stopping us from being able to do it? What is stopping us from being able to go and visit the prince?"
Absolutely valid question, darling, but I'd rather figure out the answer while you're away from Lily and not trying to get all up in her lap like some sort of little lap bird. Now move back.
Zahil makes a quark at you and just like walks off.
Aw, but they were soft.
Your child likes me.
Mira just doesn't even look at Zahil, and she'll just bark, "That makes one of us."
I want a dog.
Dick is just sort of smirking at Zahil, going like, "See, now you look like you know how to have a good time."
Zahil just shoots Dick a look that says, "You have no idea."
Dick just gives a look back like, "I'm pretty sure I do." Dick just has this look on her face like, "I've seen some shit."
Delight. That's
So,
it. That's all it is.
Selena is actually looking at you intently, Mira. It's like, oh, fascinating. What kind of fairy are you again? Did you ever say, dear? I can't remember. I don't think
Mira-
we've interacted much in the past. That's quite a shame.
Mira, this time, seeing as Selena is a human and not a ginormous bird problem, bites back any sort of like snarky response and just kind of shakes her head and says, no, I don't think we've discussed it.
Oh, that's, I mean, can I ask?
Well, I suppose everybody else in this room seems to know the difference. And she just kind of drops her glamour and snaps her teeth a little bit. And she's like, I'm what they call a red cap.
Oh, fascinating. Those ones that dip their hats in the blood to stay alive, correct?
Something like that. I'm sure there's a human legend or two that go that way, but we'll leave it at that for now.
Fair. Naomi is like, hold on. There was a series of murders in a couple of towns over from here. You didn't have anything to do with that, did you?
It kind of leads over to Naomi. He's like, I'm not quite sure right now is the right time to be asking those sort of questions.
You're right. But
Mira just gives her a smile.
Dick does address Amira, though, and just says, you know, I've seen a couple of your kind in New Orleans. Usually when I'm on some sort of vampire-related case or whatnot, people say, oh, you know, being hunted by vampires. It's very rarely ever actual real vampires. Anyways, never seen one as pretty as you, though. I like you without the glamour, Red.
Mira,
Calm down, Dick.
Mira is like she turns to look at Dick, and she's just very intense in her expression. And she doesn't say anything, but that's definitely a topic she's going to want to revisit.
How pretty she is?
Dick just winks at her and goes back to
No, about the red
her
caps.
food.
Ah.
Dick just gives her a wink and goes back to her food.
So Naomi's just like, she's once again wondering what in the world she's gotten herself into. Like first she's like working with a mob boss of some sort underneath the FBI's nose. And now there's possibly a murderer in the same room with them. And she's just like, okay. So okay, let's figure this out. So what are our options here? Obviously you said closing the rifts won't work. They'll just open up again later. And honestly, if the rest of the world is dealing with their own little doors, then fine, what's the point? Then what do we do?
Zahil, because I get the two of them mixed up. Zahil emits like this growl, and you can tell that they're not entirely okay with what they're about to say. And they say, with the lack of information that we have and the empty promises that have been made,
Mira makes a little snort sound at that.
Zahil just like snaps their jaws in her direction to be like, don't. I know.
And Mira gives like a fake little gasp, like she's scared.
Zahil continues to say, with all of that being said, we don't have enough information yet. And Savoy is under the impression that playing the prince's pretty little game will bring us closer to more information that we have for now. The next course of action would be to approach the prince, maybe using one of the many objects that we have from him. And just like chuffs, like, I don't want to do this.
I've got two questions for the Fey folk here. One, uh, if this whole smushing happens, is that going to make the entire area overrun with werewolves?
Lily's like,
First
no,
question.
silly. Werewolves are not here.
Perfect. Second question, is this likely to drastically affect the cost of alcohol?
Lily's like,
Boy can't answer.
what's an alcohol?
It's adult drink, kiddo.
Oh, is it
Big
that
kid juice.
special juice? Oh.
There you go. Do they have alcohol in the Fey realm or something similar?
Lily doesn't know the answer, you guys. She's a kid.
Dick's specifically looking at Mira and Zahil.
Heal drugs.
The answer, guys, GM knowledge is duh, of course. Fairies are fucking drunkards.
Okay. Okay.
You know what? The changelings are too fucking poor to have alcohol.
They just drink
That's when you
barley.
make your alcohol.
Yeah, you drink barley drink or wheat drink. Call it good.
They literally drink the nectar
I'm
out
gonna-
of the roots of trees. Come on.
Weird kind of mead
Okay,
that they make.
so Dick is just gonna be like, I'm gonna assume
Root
the
beer.
silence as a no. So what do I care?
Actually, yes,
Let's
they do.
Okay, see, Sunnyside knows something. Perfect. Well then, humans are assholes, Fae are assholes. Doesn't sound like it'll be all that different.
Naomi's just like, I'd rather make sure that I stay alive personally, or any family that I might decide to have down the line is able to stay alive. So how do
I am
we...
very much of the mind of live and let live.
Okay.
Unless they're a werewolf.
What did werewolves ever do to you?
You don't want to know. And for the first time, Dick's face just gets completely deadpan serious. And her tone of voice changes from, laid back jovial to fuck off.
Okay then. Well, we're still not figuring out what to do. So our options are either play his game, figure out what's happening next, or what's coming next, whatever his game is, whatever test he has, or take the game to him. Is that what we're suggesting?
We don't Savoy doesn't. God damn it. Savoy doesn't understand the game well enough to take the game back to him. But from what everybody has said, and what I know Savoy is trying to say, is that playing the game long enough to obtain the information that we need is right now the best course of action with the least amount of casualties, which seems to be the most important thing to you guys, and looks at Jonas.
Jonas just smiles.
Mira shoots a pointed look at Zahil.
Lily,
Oh my god, guys! Savoy's back!
Savoy's back! Woo! Whoa! Michael just tipped $10!
Yay!
Thanks, Michael.
Wow!
The complication is someone seems to be following Richard Poorly that seems to have a crush on her.
What?
But don't have the nerve to say anything to Miss Bellaroo.
Dick.
Dick.
Wait, what?
Someone seems to be following Dick Poorly that seems to have a crush on her but don't have the nerve to say anything to Miss Bellaroo. Okay.
Gotcha.
So I guess
Miss
So,
Bellaroo has
whenever
a
we leave
secret
the,
admirer that's not so secret.
Is it Geoff?
It might be.
oh my god, it could be
It could
Joffrey.
Geoff. That was my first thought. That's it's not so
point.
secret, I guess. So he's just like
It
peering
doesn't-
in at all of you
Oh no.
talking from the kitchen.
Dick, Senpai has not noticed him.
That's fine.
Mira looks pointedly at Zahil, who is transforming now into Savoy. And then she just says, listen, the only other time that we've properly played by his rules, we've gotten the most information. So I know it might not be easy for your little human brains to comprehend, but that seems the best option for us this time.
Savoy smooths their hair back and is like, yes, that seems to be the most effective course of action that we have managed in the past, and from going on, that seems like it should be pertinent.
Welcome back, boss.
Savoy just nods at Dick, not making eye contact.
Oh. Lily's like, so you wanna play the game?
Well, and Savoy looks down at Lily. Is there any other way for us to do this?
I don't know what this is. This could be a this, or this could be the that. So,
Well, this is, I think, as Jonas would put it, trying to find the least, the least hard on humanity way of this war happening.
okay. Well, the prince has a message then.
And what does the prince say?
He wants you to find his knife.
And what does his knife look like?
Oh, it looks like a knife.
No!
Savoy shakes their head and clears their throat a little bit and says, now, Lily, I believe the prince promised us a visit. Is that still part of the bargain?
A visit now or a visit later?
We'll say a visit now.
A visit like him coming to talk to you, or a visit
where
like
we go and speak with him.
I will ask. And she just gets this kind of glazed look, like wave your hand in front of her face. She doesn't twitch or anything. Like, come on. In fact, Naomi's just kind of like here, like, is she okay?
Mira like,
shrugs.
moves slightly closer to Lily in like a protective kind of.
I wasn't gonna touch her. Okay.
Yeah, I'm new to this whole part too. There, what was the nickname that Dick was gonna have for Naomi? I had a really good one. I can't remember it.
Was it something like stiff? I don't know.
No, it was. I can't think of it. Oh well. Some pithy nickname for Naomi. Insert that here. I'll remember it later.
It was the suit. That's what.
The suit. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
So yeah, she's gonna look at Naomi and be like, I don't know. I'm still new to this part too. Suit.
Oh, suit. What? I'm not wearing a suit.
It's a metaphor.
For what? kind of working
you
outside of
see-
the law currently, so I wouldn't say I'm wearing a suit or uniform. So
Your profession is an FBI agent.
yes.
They tend to wear suits.
And I'm here off duty. So
You're a very literal person, aren't you?
sometimes.
That's okay. It's all right. I like that. We'll work with it.
Okay. Just not quite sure how to respond to that.
Dick just kind of keeps playfully flirting, but doing it in such a way to keep Naomi a little bit off balance.
Just like-
kind of messing with her.
Okay.
It's about 40% messing with her, 60% legit flirting.
So finally Lily gets back. She's just like, he says that if you are good, if you do one more, then he will talk to you.
Savoy crosses their arms and says that's exactly what he said last time.
He says that this one is important.
Fine. Does he have anywhere for us to go with it?
He says that it's a surprise, that I think part of the game is figuring out it's like, the books with you gotta find the rabbit and it's like a hidden picture in the book, and like say the picture in the book, and you have to find a rabbit and the rabbit's just not immediately there. It's like that.
Okay, Lily. Thank you.
So that's what he says, is that it's part of the game, like how the Mimic and Miss Black was part of the game, and that's why it was in your house.
What's in my house?
The Mimic was in my house.
Oh. I understand.
It was
I
the
see.
salt shaker. Was it the salt shaker?
I think it might have been a cup of water, but yes.
Don't put salt in water. I learned that the hard way. I vomited all over the floor.
Savoy just looks at Barney like, what are we doing?
Barney's like, this was your idea, ma'am.
Barney has way more experience in raising strange children.
You were the strange child.
Is Mira
Right.
having more flashbacks? Did Lily do this while she was at Mira's house?
No. Maybe.
Oh,
Actually, let me flip a coin, roll a die. Let me figure this out. Okay.
sure.
Evens she did, odds she didn't. Odds, nope, this is some other story.
Sweet.
Lily dies of salt poisoning.
Okay, this is actually a quick note. This is actually my story.
You have this story? Rowan!
A little kid. I liked salt. I tried to put salt on my pizza. My mom had company over, so I didn't know. I liked salt a lot, though, so I accidentally screwed the lid on the salt, dumped it on the pizza, and then dumped it in my water. So I ate the pizza. It was too salty, so I went to take a drink of water. It was full of salt. And then I wandered into the living room where my mom had company and went, Mom, I don't feel so.
Oh my god.
This explains so much.
So, yeah, anyways. So Lily's like, yeah, that happened once. But that's the point, is don't eat the salt. And also the mimic was finding the mimic and knowing the mimic was part of the puzzle. And knowing what the mimic does.
So we don't only have to find a knife, we have to find a metaphorical knife and decide whether or not it's going to hurt people. And Savoy
Naomi's like, it sounds like that. Okay, let's think about this. So, if we are playing this game, what were the other monsters? And Selena's like, oh, what was it? One was a giant alligator, and the other one was mimics that took over my whole store. So I think that's only been the two, correct? Goblins also.
We had ogres and goblins. The ogre was just grumpy and protecting a territory and had to be subdued. We had Miss Black, who was a mimic. Pause 1 sec.
Thank you so much, Michael, for giving the sub.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. How would you like to use that gifted subs? That's $5 on the chart in the middle.
I suppose I will give the cast roll with advantage.
Fantastic. I will get that on the counter.
So, Savoy pinches the bridge of their nose and says, what we know is that nothing is as it seems. It's not just a test to obtain the items, it's a test to assess whatever situation these items are in. And the assessment that I had on Miss Black was incorrect. And the assessment that Jonas and Mira had of Miss Black was correct. So we know that we're not just looking at these items and objects as items and objects that are forward and blunt, but there is an air of mystery and that everything should be assessed knowing that there is likely a double meaning.
Naomi pauses and thinks about this. Like, so what you're saying is the knife is two-edged, so to speak?
Yes.
Okay. Is part of the game them correctly assessing what this is?
Yes.
Okay.
And responding to the appropriate assessment and not the inappropriate assessment.
Okay. Well, is there any way for us to prepare for this then?
Research.
Has there been any patterns?
In the past, so with the ogre came in contact with anything that was creating noise and destruction in its territory. With the mimics, they mimicked anything in their direct location, and when unsettled, could attack. But the attack was defensive. The ogre was also defensive. So what we're looking for is likely something that will be protecting something and defensive.
Mira has flashbacks to being bitten by a mimic.
Selena's like, oh yes, the mimics. What did we figure out with that, my boy? Wasn't it that he just grabbed it and put it in his ear? Was that what happened?
Yes.
Oh. Well, yeah, that would explain it. I wouldn't give him props for being the smartest after all.
Savoy does not have anything to add.
Fair enough. All right. So we look for signs of what this creature is. Anything strange? Do we report it to you, Savoy, or do we report it to your new private investigator? What?
I would prefer all
It's all right.
information to be cross-referenced with me. But between Miss Bellaroo and I think would be appropriate, or any one of us for that matter of fact, as long as we can trust that everybody will come and put that information on the table.
And Suit there, for you, you can call me Dick if you'd like to. It's okay. You don't have to be so formal.
Okay. I'll try to keep that in mind.
Dick will take a drink from whatever she has in front of her, and like before she fully puts it up to her mouth, we'll wink and go, "You do that."
What? She drinks her own glass of what she thinks is orange juice, and then she's like, "Bah, that's alcohol.
Champagne and orange juice."
That's alcoholic.
Just
I normally don't drink on the job.
eternally mimosas in this house.
Another victim befalls the mimosa.
Yes, it's alcohol.
No, it's mimosa, not mimosa. I can help myself.
So I was like, all right, so that's what we need to do then, is just keep an eye open. I wish there was more we could do to prepare.
Hey, Keeper.
Me?
I have a question, an out of character question.
Me? I feel so included.
What is the likelihood that our magic using characters would actually be able to open a portal or a rift?
You need to do more research and do some big magic.
Okay.
Mira
Secondly-
accidentally walked through one, so I don't know if she's gonna be much help.
Secondly, could they use one of the relics or the items that the prince has dropped to channel some of that big magic?
Yes, you can.
Fascinating. Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
There you go. But yeah, she's just like, I wish there was more we could do.
Okay.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about at this meal? Or are you going to go your separate ways and keep your eyes peeled?
Keep them peepers peopled.
If there's no more business, official business, I think Dick's gonna have some quote unquote business with Naomi
Oh God.
before she leaves.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
God.
is.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Sure.
So Rowan,
Mm-hmm.
quick question: do you recall um, a complaint that nobody likes Naomi?
Oh God. Oh no. I take it all back. People are starting to include Naomi. Okay.
So yeah, before Naomi leaves, Dick is just gonna stop her and say, "Hey, so I'm from Arlen's. I don't really know a whole lot about Springfield. You've been here a little longer than I have.
I think about a month. Things happened fairly quickly.
That's right. It has been
sounds like
only
it,
like a month.
I feel like I could use a little debriefing, if you will." And she'll put emphasis on debrief.
Yeah, she does.
Vanessa. And just like, I don't know, maybe we could go someplace not here and discuss it.
There is a singular diner in town. This isn't just to be clear, this isn't a date or anything. I just really want to help the situation.
Okay. It could be a date.
No. No, it's not. But if it will help you,
Riley.
if it will help you figure out the area better and help you solve any clues, I personally have my hands tied with working with the FBI. So unfortunately, there's only so much investigating that I personally can do without being obligated and getting myself in a deeper hole than I will be.
So many innuendos. So much phrasing. Dick's
Billy
just
has
gonna
no
stop
idea.
her. No, I thought you seemed really nice, and you're attractive, smart lady with a compatible profession. Just looking for an excuse to talk a little bit more, but if you're not interested, that's all right.
What I'm saying is I want to help this help. Really? Me?
Dick save her.
Does she actually say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you
Yeah, you.
really coming onto me?
I'm sorry. I forget. You're very literal. Yes, I find you very attractive, and I think it would be very nice to have a conversation with you and get to know you a little bit more.
I've just met you, so. Oh, what am I saying? Okay, look. Okay, look. We'll meet at the diner. When do you want to meet at the diner? I guess I should ask.
To be clear, is this for a date?
For discussing Springfield and its situation. I would personally consider it more work-ish, but casual. It's not a date.
Is everybody else
Well, then,
in the room listening to this?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys
we're all
watch?
listening to this. We're all
She likes
Probably- it's
books.
sipping our
probably-
mimosas or drink of choice, listening.
I think it's probably like in the next room over.
Okay.
Also, apologies for the noise. I think they're pulling up wall panels next door.
Yeah.
So in that case, Dick will be like, "Well, if it's not a date, then I think I might be a little bit busy. I'll just catch up with the
Wait.
boss."
Wait. No. God. I would like to discuss.
Yeah,
I mean, I
she
don't want
would.
to push you out.
What
Vanessa.
I'm having fun, you guys.
I am saying is, I would like to talk over food about work, profession, your experiences as a private investigator. I admit that is the job that I would rather be doing. I would like to talk as acquaintances, but I would like that. I'm not gonna call it a date.
I tell you what if we call it a work date?
That's close enough.
Your marital status, maybe? What else have you got?
All right. How about tonight? I heard there's some weird curfew in town, so say around 6 o'clock.
Yes, weird curfew. I wonder who was the one who enforced that.
The voice says nothing.
I don't know. I don't usually ask a whole lot of questions I'm not getting paid to ask.
That's right. You hear from the other room like nobody's
always
listening to your guy.
And I was like, "What? You listen? Were you all eavesdropping to that?" And Lily's like, "Yes."
Mira sniffed.
Naomi. Dick just like leans back, like across the door jam so everybody can actually see her face. Holds up her flask and goes, "Thanks, boss." All right, cool. Well, I'll see you at the diner at 6 for our work date.
Okay. All right. So, all right. So this is where we're going to. So Naomi is extremely like flustered and not quite sure what to think or anything, and heads back to the motel where she's going to think about her life, just question her life choices even more. And as she approaches her room, the door is open. She pauses and
Oh, damn.
pulls out her pistol and starts looking around, trying to figure out what is going on. Like, this isn't normal. This is like this. The room shouldn't be open. There's a key card, right?
The door's weighted.
Doors weighted, yes. But what she finds is that there's a door jam that kind of got caught. She's wondering if maybe she just didn't notice on the way out. Regardless, she turns on the lights, looks around. There doesn't seem to be anything there, and everything's in place. I mean, it's a small town, so everyone knows everyone. Probably the worst place for a thief. Regardless, her anxiety's through the roof. She spends about a couple hours paranoid looking at everything. But doesn't see anything. So about 5:30, she's finishing getting ready for this work date. She's kind of second guessing herself. She's like, okay, look, it's not a date. It's not a date. I don't want to I don't want to give her any ideas. I am going to dress casual. No, fuck. Dress work casual. Work business. It's a work date, so business casual. Okay. And then she heads out. But as she walks down the street, with the dimming lights of that autumn, almost winter, it's starting to get late, dark later, and someone steps out behind her. It is herself, and they smile, and that's where we're gonna end tonight.
What?
I'm gonna interject so that we don't leave that on such a frustrating ending like we usually do. I would also like to point out that Mira probably takes Jonas so that they can go put Lily down for a nap. Because family time.
Adorable.
Why would you ruin my beautifully crafted cliffhanger that way?
Because I'm
Because-
fucking sick and tired of being stuck in a
Vanessa has
goddamn
a fucking heart.
And also, there can never be too much family time with Lily and Miris, okay?
Okay.
Oh,
But yes,
great.
that's it.
That was lovely. That was a lot of fun. Rowan, would you like to do the outros, or would you like me to do them? Up to you.
You do them, please.
Okay. Well then, starting with you. Rowan, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else that you would like to share?
This whole session was just one big conversation. Honestly, I loved it. I loved how the characters have kind of grown. I don't know how long, like, it's been in between. Like, now, I feel like it's probably been a couple weeks before Dick came in and they had this big meeting. I don't know. But it felt like the characters had grown up to, like, this point.
I think he had said this was like 3 or 4 weeks ago that it would be like a 2-week gap between the events of the last canon episode and this one.
Yes, that's what I was hoping. So everybody's had time. But yeah, just how the characters have kind of become more accustomed to each other and things like that, and just feeling more comfortable everyone is, and I like that. So
Awesome. We can find you next on Friday, right?
Yes, we're doing the second Spirits of the Storm.
Yeah. I need to contact a couple people about that.
Yes, please.
If anybody is interested in playing, we may have a couple of spots open for that. It's this Friday at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for a one-shot.
So this is actually a second part of a 2-part series. We kind of introduced the conflict last time, where basically it's basically around the clock there is calamities, and you are the heroes that stop these calamities and close the holes to the ley line. And you just found out that maybe these calamities were started by the king in the first place, and now you have to go confront the king and try to get these calamities to calm the fuck down. So it's kind of a boss rush D&D 5e. So
it's gonna be very fun. Awesome. Let's go back around the other way. So starting with Vanessa next. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, kind of on the coattails of what Rowan said, just kind of how everybody's fallen into line a little bit better and feeling more comfortable. I definitely loved Mira pushing Zahil's buttons. And that is going to be something that she does consistently throughout the following season, because now she knows that she can do it, and it absolutely makes her laugh. So we all know that judging on last season, Mira needs a good laugh. And I am fully intending to give her that and let her have the win. So we will be seeing more Zaheel this season, I can assure you that much.
Awesome.
Yeah, but you can find me on Saturday for Animus. Over there, I play Annie. And you can also find me on my art Twitter, which is at Peppero Draws. It's pepper like the candy. And I also have a Ko-fi page that I'll pop in the description there. I've got a couple of commissions that I'm catching up on over the next couple of days, and then I'll be opening up any sort of like sketch commissions. So if you have any characters that you'd like to see drawn, then I can certainly take care of that for you.
Awesome. Next, we've got Yasmin. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
My favorite part is honestly the entire episode this time. We got to jump into just enough backstory for the characters, and we had character interaction, and we got a lot more of the story. And I am just so excited. But also the fact that Savoy could not maintain any kind of control over Zaheel is just delightful for me. You can find me next week for Tickfaw Files, or on Twitter at Tatiana Art. I do a lot of graphic art and stuff. And I totally forgot to put my link in the chat box thing. Anyways, that's it.
Cool. Next, we've got Riley. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
My favorite part, I would have to agree with Yasmin, was kind of all of it. Just all of the interactions between characters and figuring things out, seeing this playful side of Mira more, as well as Dick asking Naomi out on a date, and Naomi just like, no, we'll do this, and describes a date, but not a date. And then just that cliffhanger was good fun, pretty intense. Also, I'm really excited about Miris having a little family time with Lily. And then you can find me online at Arielle Knits. The handle is below my face. And then I'm going to put a link out to a sock knitting pattern that I recently just released that has a symbol that some of y'all might recognize. So
cool. All right. My favorite part, I a bit of a selfish favorite part. I did really enjoy just seeing how much of a player Dick is. Like, she was just like super confident. I was like, okay, this character's got some different energy than I originally anticipated, but I'm enjoying this. That was an adorable scene, seeing Naomi so flustered and everything. That was fun.
Poor Naomi. She's so awkward.
The whole session was great, but I did also really enjoy the Zaheel and Mira interactions and interacting with Lily in a way that wasn't, poltergeisty. Yeah, the whole thing was just great. As for where you can find me next, I'll be back Friday morning or afternoon, 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, producing Where Things Go South, which is GM'd by the very talented Polished Cryptid. And then we'll be back Friday night for Spirits of the Storm Part 2. It's our community one-shot. Again, if you are interested in playing in that, we are probably going to have a couple spots open. I know at least 2, maybe 3. So if you would like to get involved with that, just shoot me a DM on Twitter, which is right below my face here. Or you can hop into our Discord, which is right there, and shoot me a message there. But for right now, we're going to go on a raid. So we're going to go raid Stella Luna. Lovely streamer. They're currently doing some tabletop as well. So definitely give her a follow if you're not following her already. And yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you, Michael, for the donation. Any plot points that were spent, we appreciate it. And thank you to the awesome cast and Rowan for running the game. And I will see you all on Friday. Bye, everybody.